If property prices fall by 5 to 8%, you're still ahead of where you would have been by waiting until construction was complete. What do you need to know before buying an off-plan property? You've probably heard horror stories about people who bought property off-plan and lost a significant amount of money. But you've probably also read about people who've made huge profits by buying off-plan. So I totally understand that you're completely confused if you've been thinking of putting your money into these very attractively low-priced properties when they're launched in Dubai. You're confused because you don't know whether to believe the horror stories or the success stories. Which one is true? Well, both of them. Buying off-plan can be very risky or extremely profitable, and it depends on where and when you do it and which steps you take to protect yourself. By the end of this video, you will know the following: what buying off-plan means, how the process works, 2 ways to profit from buying off-plan. Number 1. What does buying off-plan mean? Buying off-plan means committing to buy a property before it's finished being built. This also means before it's started to be built, but not necessarily. Even if the property is well on its way to be finished, it's still technically an off-plan purchase. The benefits of buying off-plan. Is it cheaper to buy off-plan? Yes. Developers usually offer these properties at a discount or at a value much lower than something similar that is ready to move in. They do that to make up for the risk of buying something that hasn't been built yet, and to make up for the fact that you can't move into it right away. So for you, this is good. Also for them, it's great because the more off-plan units they sell, and as early as they sell it, the more it removes the risk from the projects that they're building. It keeps their financial backers happy because money is flowing in and they can get started with the construction in a timely fashion. Now, there's 2 ways, if you're in this situation, that you can profit from this discounted property. 1. You can flip it before it's finished. When you commit to buying a property off-plan, you have to put down a deposit, with the rest only being payable when it's finished. The deposit is often as low as 10 to 20%, but it can be higher. Say you buy a property off-plan for 2 million dirhams. By putting down a 10% deposit of 200,000 dirhams, a year later, the property is still being built, but rising property prices in the area mean that the market value of the property when it's finished will be 2.4 million dirhams. You might be able to find someone willing to pay you 400,000 dirhams for the right to buy the property when it completes, which effectively means they're locking in a price of 2.4 million because they think the prices will go up even further. So this will leave you with a 200,000 dirham profit on your 200,000 dirham investment in the deposit, a 100% ROI. And people have done that a lot and made a lot of money during boom times in the Dubai market, especially between 2006 to 2008, the super boom period. And it sounds great to want to do that in a stable and rising market, which is where Dubai is headed. But I don't recommend that as a primary strategy, for obvious reasons. Property prices don't always go up. If the market falls, you might not be able to sell it, especially if it's not complete, and be left legally committed with a property you don't want and perhaps can't afford. Timing plays a big part here, and if you get it wrong and speculate too much, you are most certainly to lose money. Number 2, holding the property and locking your price in. Second way you can profit from the off-plan discount, and a more solid way that I always recommend to my clients, is buying a property off-plan that you want to hold for the long term and treating the discount rate as a bonus. Say you buy at 15% less than the market value of something similar that's ready. This effectively gives you a buffer against property prices falling. If property prices fall by 5 to 8%, you're still ahead of where you would have been by waiting until construction was complete. Of course, you're more likely to want to buy off-plan in a rising market. So if prices go up, you benefit from the capital gains, and effectively, size of your discount goes up too. This method locks in the price of a property you want to buy anyway, in return for putting down only a small percentage of the purchase price. How to buy off-plan property? Here's the process. 1. You'll pay a booking fee, which is often in the range of 10,000 US dollars. Once you put down the initial deposit, you need to complete the balance payment, which is 10 to 20%, in order to receive your booking form. Once you get the booking form, you can use your lawyer or your broker to go through it. At this point, you're legally committed to buying the property. If you don't, you lose the deposit. Number 3, you will monitor the progress and arrange your mortgage as construction is coming towards the end, so it's ready in time for completion. Number 4, when the build is complete, the developer will serve notice to complete, giving you a certain amount of time to finalize the purchase. And number 5, you'll pay the rest of the purchase amount and the property is yours. But is it right for you? Listen, Buying off-plan property isn't right for everyone all the time. It depends on the type of property you're targeting and what's happening with the property prices locally. But what you shouldn't do is write it off as being too risky. Yes, there are risks, and those risks can never be eliminated, but they can be controlled. If the advantages of getting a discount and locking in a price in a rising market are compelling enough, you should be sensible, but not be put off completely. I'd love to know in the comments if you have any more questions about buying off plan. And like always, if you got some value out of this video, consider subscribing to my channel. I am Zoheb, aka Realtor on a Harley, and I'll be posting videos to this YouTube channel twice a week to give as much value as I can to my audience. Bye for now.